my show.
But not my show.
Welcome to It's My Show, but not my show. I am the Bluesman, and we're going to be sharing the very interesting word today. And I'm with my man Luando, and we are both from Johannesburg South. So, today's topic is going to be very interesting, as always, because today we're going to be talking about mining your heart. So obviously, you know a story, well, not a story, you know miners. People that mine dig for something specific. It may be gold, diamonds, or anything, or coal, I don't know, but they dig for something. But now we're going to relate that to mining your heart. So let me just get to scripture and what Matthew 6 verse 21 says. For your heart will always pursue what you value as your treasure. So your heart will always pursue what you value as your treasure. So what is your treasure? What is your gold in your heart? So you can pretend to be one person, but obviously we all know that the truth always comes out. There's a term in the world people like to use, that life always has a way of humbling a person, which is actually true, because now you can't have a big head forever. Some way it's going to pop. But that's not what the focus is today. It's mining your heart. So I have to ask a question and answer it, but obviously you can't respond. So in your heart, do you have gold or do you have dirt in your heart? And how do you know whether you have gold or you have dirt? So James 4 verse 8 says, move your heart closer and closer to God, and He will come even closer to you. But make sure you cleanse your life, you sinners, and keep your heart pure and stop doubting. So let me read it again. James 4 verse 8 says, move your heart closer and closer to God, and He will come even closer to you. But make sure you cleanse your life and keep your heart pure and stop doubting. Psalms 51 verse 10 says, create a new clean heart within me. Fill me with pure thoughts and holy desires, ready to please you. And Proverbs 15 verse 13 says, a cheerful heart puts a smile on your face, but a broken heart leads to depression. I'll go back to that one. Proverbs 23 verse 15 says, my beloved child, when your heart is full of wisdom, my heart is full of gladness. Proverbs 16 verse 9, within your heart you can make plans for your future, but the Lord chooses the steps you take to get there. Romans 10:10 says, the heart that believes in Him receives the gift of righteousness, and then the mouth confesses, resulting in salvation. Okay, so let me read one more, then I'll go back to that one. Ephesians 6 verse 14 says, put on the truth as a belt to strengthen you, to stand in triumph. Put on holiness as the protective armor that covers your heart. Holiness is the protective cover that covers your heart, is the protective armor that covers your heart. So moving back to Proverbs 15 verse 13, it says, a cheerful heart puts a smile on your face, but a broken heart leads to depression. So what's in your heart? A cheerful heart puts a smile on your face, but a broken heart leads to depression. So basically, when you're mining your heart, what is the feeling you get? So when you're being the real you, not the fake you shouldn't be fake. You should live a pure life. You're one person, you know. So what is in your heart? So if you're sitting down at home and you have like a cup of coffee and a tea next to you, I'll say cheers, because I have my tea next to me. And get a notebook or something and just write down what's important about, because let's be honest here. Nowadays there's a lot of people that are depressed, especially now. But Proverbs 15 verse 13 says, but a broken heart leads to depression. Now, how many people around you are depressed? Are you yourself depressed? Because if you are, there's something you are doing wrong. Your heart isn't pure. You need to clean your heart. You need to ask God to clean your heart, because whatever's in your heart, you won't keep it there for too long. It will come out. It's the same thing like let me share a story. There was a time I stole cookies from my granny, because she used to cook cookies and then they stole for my friend and I. and she asked me, Musa, there's 5 here, but there was 6. No, I think there was 10, but now she's saying there's 5 now, and we took a whole bunch. And I said, no, I don't know what happened, and I was all convincing and this and that, when you're trying to run from a situation with lies. So you have to build lies and lies and lies and lies and lies. And what happens when the whole thing is built off lies? Everything stumbles, because that one lie you forget is like taking a piece out of a block out of the building blocks, and then everything stumbles because of that one thing. But because you lied. If I told the truth, but let me tell you the story before. So what happened was she obviously asked, and then I said I didn't take, but I fell asleep. So at night when I was sleeping, I talk in my sleep. So I decided, while in my dream, I was busy telling my friend how nice those cookies were. And that alone, it's a very funny story, but that alone shows that what's in your heart will always come out. It doesn't have to be always when you're sane, but sometimes when you're in your dreamland, you'll be saying all these things, because what's in the heart always comes out. For example, if a person is always protecting himself, and that you'll find that the person is a lot insecure inside the heart, because what's in your heart will come out. So what's in your heart? What are you mining in your heart? Let's start mining our hearts and figure out what is it that is making us feel depressed. Because a cheerful heart puts a smile on your face. Are you smiling wherever you go? When you're facing a tough situation, are you smiling? These are the sorts of questions you need to be asking yourself. Are you easily offended, or are you easily put to joy? Because if you're easily offended, there's something wrong inside. If you put to joy, carry on. Don't think you've made it already, but you know what? It's a good start. And what I found with sin is, no matter what you do, trust me, I know, but no matter what you do, that everyone says it's fun. It's fun, but there's a feeling. It's like the example I always share, that castor oil to clean your tummy. That thing doesn't taste nice, but the results of it makes you happy. So when you're doing it, it's like you hesitate. You don't want to do it as much. You're like, it's nasty, I can't taste it. But that's what people are telling you. So you thinking, I can't take it. Meanwhile, it's just a one change thingy thing. You drink it, and the taste is not nice, because you have to face your sin. The taste is not nice because you're facing your sin face to face. I'm just relating it to what we're talking about. You have to face your sin, and that's not nice. But then after you faced it, the cleansing process happens. And what happens after that? And no one tells you about what happens after that. You live like you're free. You set free. But on the other hand, with the sweetener. So the sweet is nice. People tell you, the sweet is nice, and you can see it. It looks like marvelous. You'll see it yourself. So what happens is, you get food and you take the sweet. Now the sweet is the sinful life. You take the sweet, it's nice in the beginning, but as time goes, you start getting ill, and it always starts small. It always starts with a sore tummy, then a sore tooth, then it escalates and escalates. Then your body, the blood pressure starts being unstable, and it becomes worse. But in the beginning, the effects are always small things you don't notice. And once you're in this hole already, you're like, what? How did I get here? That's how sin is. So cleanse your heart in the beginning when you're facing your sin. It's not a nice feeling, because now there's a preacher that I once heard. Very powerful preacher. I forgot his name. I just heard of him once. But he literally said that there's a light shining. When you're in sin, you're in the dark. Once the light shines, now picture this as the castor oil and you facing your sin. Once the light shines, you can see all your mess ups. And once you see all your mess ups, it's easy to run back to the dark, because you feel like, I'm a stuff up, and let me run back to the dark so I can't see it. But facing that you are stuff up and working from there with God makes you very, very powerful, and you'll be cleansed, and you'll know how to tell people stuff that they're going through that you went through. So that's a very powerful preacher. I forgot, But next week on the show, I'll tell you the preacher, because that guy was very powerful. He said something about when you're in the light, you can see all your mess ups. Everything is visible to you. You can see that. Have you noticed it's the same thing as a club? When you get into a club, there's all the lights in it. Have you ever seen a club without all those lights in it? Just during the day, you get inside. Have you seen how a mess up that place is? That's what sin is too. When the lights are on, it's all fun. But when the lights go off, you feel like, hey, how did I get here? So, I'll hand over to Lwando and he'll continue. And thank you. I hope you were blessed, because I was blessed. I even took some notes. Okay.
Quiet music is hot music.
Never stop.
Quiet music is hot music.
Never drop.
Radio has never been better.
In any weather.
Radio has never been better.
In any weather.
Active FM, this is my show, but not my show, with my man Musa. I myself, Lwando. We are from Johannesburg in South Africa. That's where you found us. As I said, with my man Musa, the bluesman, the blue man himself. Interesting. This week we're talking about something that's so significant. The results of a mind heart. Have you ever thought about that? I know sometimes we speak about potential, what can come out of you. It's interesting. But have you ever thought about someone just mining your intentions, mining your dreams, mining, all the stuff that is happening in your heart? Have you ever thought about that? What will come out of your heart if someone has to, mine all the stuff out of your heart and without being limited? So it's interesting what we're talking about this week. And here we are. I think there's so much hope at the same time, though we're in the pandemic, because it's been months now, but here we are, we still live. Yes, we have lost people. It has been painful, but we have to be thankful at the same time that, we're making it, we're moving forward. And one of the things I've realized is that life is too short, and, being born is just a door to this world, but death is a door out of this world. And what matters is that when you come out of this world, where do you go to? Where do you go to when you come out of this world? It's so interesting again. The results of a mind heart. That's what we're talking about. The results of a mind heart. Most of the times we speak about, this gold that has to come out of you. But for me, I feel like, there can't be gold unless Jesus is. There can't be gold within yourself unless Jesus is. You know what I'm saying? There can't be gold that you can enjoy, by yourself, within yourself, that you can appreciate within yourself unless Jesus is. So this is very, very, very interesting. I still remember, man, and even now, it's not like, life is perfect and all that, but I can actually talk about, moments in my life where it has been hard. Moments in my life where I have been broken. Because sometimes, I'm good today, but you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Being good today sometimes doesn't really guarantee that you're going to be good tomorrow. And I've noticed, as I said, life is too short. But when you're broken, when you're going through so much, you don't even realize that life is too short. All you just want to do is to get rid of this life. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, life is too short. And the biggest thing is that you can live your life and find at the end of your time on earth that you didn't really fulfill what you were created for. I know there are many things, the scientists, the atheists, different doctrines, teachings, philosophies on this to say, when you die, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And I guess then if that's the work of the universe, we die, we just die, then the work of the universe, it's actually useless. So why do what you do? You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting, but when you take a look at the Bible, there's a shift that takes place within yourself, within your mind, when you realize, no, I'm actually bigger than what I thought. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually bigger than what my situations are saying to me. I'm actually bigger, than how I keep comprehending myself based on what I do, based on how I view myself, because there is someone who's bigger and say bigger things that I couldn't say over myself. And sometimes his protection goes beyond even my choices. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that, you always secure when you know that there's someone who actually is able to move beyond above what you can do, beyond above what you can choose, as long you believe in him. And that is Jesus himself. So we're going to be looking at the book of 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 5. It says, "But he replied, 'All is well. I have come to sacrifice to the Lord. Purify yourself and come with me to the sacrifice.' And they performed the purification rite on Jesse and his sons and invited them too. When they arrived, Samuel took one look at Eliab and thought, 'Surely this is the man the Lord has chosen.' But the Lord said to Samuel, 'Don't judge by a man's face or height, for this is not the one. I don't make decisions the way you do. Men judge by outward appearance, but I look at men's thoughts and intentions.'" Wow. I once went to a modeling concept, and I remember how it was interesting. Now I'm actually talking about it. There was just this pause, and I'm thinking about it. And they started just separating people. If you were not good looking, they sent you home. If you were good looking, you had a chance, to talk. You had a chance to do the presentation. And here I am. I was chosen. Interesting. I'm gonna use this. This is very interesting. Here I was chosen, and guess what happened? But Mr. Luando really was not good when it comes to speech. You know what I'm saying? Presenting, because English was just not my very thing. I just came from rural areas, and it was, difficult. And there I was, man, and I had to present this thing, and had this broken English. But if you think about it, is that surely there was someone who was sent home and who could speak English proper, and who was skilled in this, role, but because he didn't have the looks, he was sent home. Why? Because they were choosing based on how you look, not on what you had. They didn't even listen to people like, "Try, let's hear what you say. Maybe you're good at this thing." They didn't listen and hear that some people are gifted, maybe when it comes to comedy. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if you think about it, is that just in that space that I occupied, obviously I was not chosen, but these people, they actually lost. Because in my place, they would have, gained someone who was good in speech. And, but because they chose based on looks, that was bad. You know what I'm saying? For them, for the business, and for their time. I'm just using that as an example. Now it makes sense to say, yeah, this is how they chose, And that's how it is in the world. That's how it is in the world. People, they really don't go into relationships, based on being, in a place where they will mine out what is in your heart and see, okay, this is the right person or not. This person has God, has Jesus himself, but they will just go on with your looks. So there you are beaten by your man. I'm not promoting that. I'm not happy for that. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that you can do something. You can accept Jesus Christ, and your eyes can be open, and you will know who's the right person for you, because God is bigger, God is greater, and he can see what you not see. As much as when you are on earth and God is above in the sky, he has much view than you do. You know what I'm saying? So the interesting thing is that when you allow God now to actually be your guidance and be the one who protects you, there is a different, perspective. How you see life, you are protected even from the future. Because as much as you are here on this ground where I am, and you go into a place in South Africa just next to Johannesburg, a place called Sandton, but I can't see Sandton where I am, but someone who's above can see Sandton, and they can see if there's fire there. You know what I'm saying? And if I go there, and if these people, they see that there's fire there, they can speak to me and say, don't go there because there's danger. So most important thing is that, we don't have God. We're carrying on without Jesus, and that's why we find ourselves in this, chaotic experiences in our lives. It's like just another heat crash, man, and you find yourself there and you crash. Why? Because you decided to go on with your life and you don't have a protector. And I think that's very interesting for me and you. So you have a potential. Now, talking about potential, I believe all of us, we have certain abilities, but they're not exercised within ourselves. Why? Because the potential is being imprisoned. The potential within ourselves is oppressed. Why? Because of certain things in our lives that they need to be mined out of ourselves in order to be able to also mine out the potential. Because the most important thing at the same time is that you cannot mine out the potential within yourself unless you see it. And there are things within ourselves that make us, blind when it comes to seeing our potential within ourselves. I love this. This is very incredible. Within ourselves, we have things that make us not see this potential. Especially as you continue, you live in life, what happens is that obviously as you look at the status of your condition, and through that you perceive and you look at yourself, what you perceive out of the status of your condition is that you cannot make it. You're not that important and you cannot do crazy things. You're not good at speech. You can't speak a certain language. You know what I'm saying, as I was saying. And you feel oppressed. You get to a point where you look at yourself and what you think about is that you're worthless. Why? Because there are just negative things within yourself that make you not realize what you have. And before the potential is released, sometimes what needs to happen, the brokenness within yourself, the wounds, the hurt, the confusion within yourself, the questions that you have as a person, all those things, they need to be mined out, because these are the things that make you not see the potential that you have. And Jesus is really the only person who can do that. You will become incredible. You will become the person that you never thought you will be. You will actually have an internal view towards yourself that you never even had before, because of how the Lord changes you as a person. It changes how you see yourself. And it's very important. And when you start realizing that, wow, I never thought that I have this potential. I never thought that I am gifted in this certain place. You know what I'm saying? But because of the Lord coming into your life and realizing that there are problems within yourself, and He sorts out the problems and He helps you to exercise your potential. And it's very important. It's not just mining out the potential, but there are things within yourself that prevent you from reaching to your potential. And it's not something that's outside you. You know what I'm saying? Something that is within you, and the Lord sees, and the Lord knows what He has for you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you look at Moses, how Moses was before the Lord, you need to go speak to Pharaoh. Moses who? Me? Never. You know what? Because he had experiences. And these potentials that God was speaking about, what Moses, according to God's, view, what Moses was able to do, all that was absent in Moses' experiences. But God said, this is what you're capable of. When God tells you of things that you never even thought. When God resurrects you, from nothing to something that is greater, and you never saw it happen, but God says you have it. Important. It's called mining. God is able to mine out the bad out of you, but is also able to restore, the God within you, the right potential, and mine it out, and then you influence. I hope you're blessed. And we're just gonna close in prayer. And I know you have been blessed by Musa. So you can pray this prayer if you want to accept Jesus Christ the Lord and say, like, I need Jesus to mind me. I need Jesus Christ to do something that's incredible with me. Thank you for that decision. You can pray this prayer. Say, dear Jesus, I accept you as my Lord and Savior. Please live in me. Please fill me, God. Baptize me with your Holy Spirit. There is no one like you, Jesus. You are amazing. You are incredible. Help me be what you died for me to be. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Don't forget to visit our website on www.activefm.co.za, our Facebook page /ActiveFM777, our Instagram page, ActiveFM777, and our Twitter, ActiveFM. Stay blessed.
Active FM. Radio has never been better.